we posted this clip where like Todd Waters was talking about like how much faster Herlings was than him at like Lommel on practice days and just like how retarded it was. He said he was literally like 10 seconds a lap faster than him, and like Todd was running like 12th in the World Championship, and that made me wonder like who's the fucking European GOAT? Because like when you think about
Stefan Everts.
Yeah, but is he though? Because like you think about,
he is.
Well, so this is the question. Because you think like, so this is, I'm not going to throw out an answer just yet. I want to hear from you boys. But you think about like Todd. Todd was getting podiums like a few years ago. And then all of it, like Herlings and that whole pack, like that, they've just leapfrogged him by so much to where he was like a 12th place dude. But then you look at Cairoli, who's got, 9 titles? So he's one short of Everts. But think about the generations and the speed that Cairoli's had to adapt to. Like, probably way more than Everts did, right? And it's, again, not taking anything away from Everts, but it's like he's won 9 championships and he's had to deal with literally a completely new, like, a revolution in riding. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, is Cairoli the GOAT of Europe?
He's still current. You know what I mean? He could win the championship this year. And
that's what I'm saying.
Like, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, a good point. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I was like 5 years old when Everts was winning. You know, like,
yeah,
it's true.
You know, I guess pretty much Greg Albertine went in. He won like 2 or 3 world championships over there in the '90s, right? In the premier class, the 250 class.
Yeah.
And then when he came to the States, that's kind of when Everts and Tortelli took over as like the dudes over there.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would say is, for Everts was racing, there was also 3 classes that you could race. There was 125.
Dude, that's so true.
500.
Yeah.
And like Joel Smets could like, I mean, again, like my history, I don't know enough about Euro racing like from back then.
Yeah.
To be able to tell, but it seemed like Joel Smets was kind of like pretty gnarly. He could beat Everts, you know, a good portion of the time, but they would not always race the same class, I think. So that's kind of another, because it was that mix up of what's the real premier class? Is it the 500 open or is it the 252 stroke?
Yeah.
So it's and then also you'd have guys, there was move up rule, so guys would stay like Alessio Chiotti would like stay and just destroy everybody on 125s for years.
Yeah,
so
true, huh?
You're making some
good
points,
it was
Josh.
Different. I think now it really is like there's one premier class in GPs, and like once you're 24 years old, you can't go back to MX2.
Yeah,
you have to race that class. So I mean, like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't know what's harder, but it would seem that they've funneled everybody into one class now.
Yeah. And if you win that one class, there's no doubt.
Like you can't go race the 500 class because you want to get away from somebody. Like if you're racing this class.
All right, Cairoli's the GOAT.
So is Cairoli the GOAT then?
I think so.
He's definitely great. I don't know. It's hard for me to be the judge and say, like, I don't want to say who's the GOAT, you know? I've met both those guys. Like, they're both insane, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Cairoli's faster than Everts, you know?
Yeah,
right
but
now.
I mean, but yeah, like,
and his equipment. I mean, it's different too, because the equipment in those days was probably so much rougher on your body back then, and I don't know. You know, I think at one point they had to do 2 45-minute motos. I think at one point in the GPs.
The fucking
I mean,
yuck.
I don't know, and like they wouldn't prep the tracks all weekend.
That's right. Europe, they just leave him.
Some of the tracks had road sections, like Namur, I think, had a road section. Oh, yeah,
Namur in Belgium, right?
It's comparing apples. The way I look at it, it's comparing apples to oranges. It's almost the same way I look at like who's faster, Americans or Euros. It's like we'd spend 80% of our year racing Supercross, and they spend 20% racing motocross. And they spend 100% racing motocross. Yeah. And so, I mean, if we had a Supercross world champion, or a Supercross of Nations, like I'm pretty stoked on our team.
Yeah.
But
Except for Anders will clean them all out, and France will win again.
What if France? Actually, France could still win.
Yeah, dude, they got
France
Marv.
could still win because they've got
Marv, Dylan, and then
someone else.
They don't even need anyone else at that point.